I'm Julia from GE Teaching Resources, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. As of the time of recording, so this is beginning of September 2022, it's not far away for my music HSC students to do their oral exam. So most kids at this time of year would be doing their practical exam and preparing and actually performing and doing their viva voce and all that sort of stuff. But very shortly, in a couple of months, it is time for their actual oral exam. Now, this is the time that I'm going through with my kids how to revise the HSC, the concepts of music. So I thought, why not share it with you today? So let's get this started so that we can actually do all the things that we need to actually do. So as I said, I'm going to share a few simple strategies. Actually, it helps if I actually share screen, doesn't it? Share screen. That really helps. And there we go. That's better. It's better. Oh, I'm good some days. All right. So I said we're going to go through some simple strategies for revising the concepts of music because I said that's what I'm doing myself with my kids. And I figured that other people and other students might be looking for some things to actually help them as well. So let's get started. So firstly, welcome. I'm going to briefly go through the concepts of music, and I say very briefly. And I'm going to give you some simple strategies to help you revise the concepts of music, and then also some suggested resources to use. Now, some of those resources are paid, some of those are free. As I said, there's depending on what you want to do out there, but just giving you a variety of things that can hopefully help you or your students. So the concepts of music are in alphabetical order: duration, dynamics and expressive techniques, pitch, structure, texture, and tone color. Now, not only do the kids need to know what the concepts of music are, but they need to know how they relate to each other. So just keep that in mind. So the first thing that you could try and do is obviously make sure that you know the concepts of music. Now, you obviously saw on the previous slide one of the mind maps, and you can actually see it behind me that way. There it is. It's the same one that's printed. I've printed that on A3. I've actually got those around my classroom, all the mind maps. My kids get it, if that makes sense. Some of my kids actually prefer the mind maps, and some doesn't work for them at all, but that's okay. Lots of different ways that everybody learns. But you've got to know the concepts of music, and sometimes try using the mind maps because sometimes it might gel. Even after you've studied it, it's a great way to actually revise, because if you can say to kids, all right, here's a mind map, now fill out whatever you know around it. Or even, here's the mind map, here's the concept we're going to be listening for, and use the mind map to, as they're listening, to add details to it and then formulate an answer after that. Strategy number 2, you know how much I love a term card. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. But honestly, you can't beat these cards for learning the terms of music. And the ones that I find, like, there's so many different ways you can do it, but learning the terms, playing games with the terms, and actually applying those terms in like vocab sheets, worksheets, and other sorts of activities, write the room activities, all those sorts of things, they're really helpful for the kids to learn and to make sure that they actually know the vocabulary that goes along with each concept of music. Strategy number 3, listen widely. Now, I say this to my kids a lot because, let's face it, they often have a particular genre they like to either perform or listen to. And that's great if they want to apply the concepts of music to that particular type of music, but it's not going to help them if they get, say they're a hard rock guitar, love their death metal, grungy, hard rock sound, and they get a classical piece, they may not be able to relate to it. So the thing is, listen widely and listen to a variety of styles of music. Now, one thing is, once you've done that, pick a song, pick a concept of music, and write down what you hear. And repeat this as often as you can. One thing you could do is, and I haven't got it with me, don't know where it is. Sorry. Write each of the concepts of music on a piece of paper, stick them in a hat or stick them in something, pull it out, find a song and answer. Do it again, do it again, do it again, keep repeating. But that way you're practicing those skills and practicing the vocab to a wide variety of music. Number 4, Make study fun and work with a friend. Okay, so use the strategy I was just talking about, okay, with the concepts of music, but study with a partner. Now, the benefit of this is twofold. If you've got kids, if there's two of you that are at about the same ability level, you can hopefully help each other. So say you do the same song and one of you chooses to answer it on pitch and one chooses to answer it on tone color. Answer it, swap your answers, read it, see if there's anything you could add to it, swap them back, and then have a discussion. All right. Or see if you can add to it yourselves. And it really, honestly, it will make it a much bigger difference quickly if you work with a partner. And essentially that's what your teacher is doing. So as a teacher, that's what we do. We're looking at their work. We're not necessarily giving them our work back, but we're looking at their work, giving them some feedback, seeing where the gaps are, and then hopefully they're applying that feedback that they're getting. Number 5, find relevant YouTube videos to watch. Now, I did a quick Google search about 10 minutes ago, and it's amazing what you can find out there. There's a lot of stuff. Now, when I first started teaching and first started putting videos on YouTube in about 2012, 2011, somewhere around there wasn't much there. And my really bad ones from back then, you can find those. They're really bad. They will still help you. I know a lot of kids use those videos, but there's stacks on YouTube. So there's other people that have actually put some other things up as well. So go and have a look at what people are saying. And you might find that sometimes something clicks for you, that, you know, your teacher has been telling you blah, 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 or you as a teacher, you've been telling the child the same thing, but they just don't get it. And sometimes they need to hear it from someone else and the penny drops and it's like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do, and they get it. Okay, so you can either find, as I said, there's stacks out there. Just Google HSC oral exam, or you can either go to if you type in my name, Julia Harvey-Trappel, you'll find a couple of YouTube channels, a really old one and a newer one. Or you can even go to juliajulia.com, my website, and I've got blog posts about the concepts of music on there, and you can use those to actually help you because the videos are actually embedded on there as well. So there's a few different ways. And of course, that's all free. That's all free. Right. Practice doing exams. So this is number 6. Practice doing exam questions. So even if you don't use the same piece of music that's actually in an exam, all right, so because there's a couple of websites there, you can see that. Pause, take a photo, whatever, get it, okay, and go to those websites because there's free stuff on there again. I don't know who put those two sites together, but, you know, they're wonderful. Thank you, whoever it was that did those. Really helpful. But get those practice exams. Now, even if you don't use the same music, use the questions. So you might want to write out a stack of questions, and again, pick one out of the hat, pick a piece of music and try answering it, and keep repeating. And again, if you do that with a friend, you're going to find that much, much better. But as I said, there's several websites out there that have practice exams that you can choose from. And as I said, there's 2 sites there. So there's one that's HSC Aural Exam. Okay, Weebly, blah, blah, blah. And then there's also the music concepts. But seriously, if you just Google HSC oral exams, you'll find these websites very easily, because that's all I did and how I found them quite a few years ago. And I refer my kids on to using them both because they're all there for everybody just to use. Okay, so it's one thing to know what to do. Sometimes you're going, oh, I still don't know what to do and I need something more tangible. So let me show you what you can use if you need to. So there's obviously this bundle. Okay, this is everything in there is massive, so much so that it doesn't fit in a. So that's just the other questions one. Okay, which is all your contrast, texture. Sorry, not texture, tone, mental blank, variety, difference, all that sort of stuff. Obviously structure, dynamics, expressive techniques. This goes through everything. They go through everything. All the concepts, okay? All the concepts are there. All right, so here's a pitch one. Pitch one, for example. So the different ones. Now, in these particular ones, I give you not only ways to write them, links to music, but also samples, exam samples, past student ones, some good, some bad. You learn from both of them. And obviously practice questions to do as well. All right, so that's in all of that. That's in that particular bundle. So that particular bundle is not cheap, but it's got everything you need. However, if you're watching this close to the HSC exam, you'll probably find it's not worth spending the money on because you don't have enough time to go through everything, okay? It's a lot to get through. These are the concepts cards. Now, where's mine? I should be more prepared, shouldn't I? Sorry, excuse me. There they are. Now, I have to say, these are my old ones. I used to, this is literally what I used to call it, Aural for Dummies. And I literally used to do, it's the same questions that are actually on here, but I've developed them. I used to do it on just coloured paper, the same colour. But the problem was when my kids were trying to find the actual questions they should be, like things you should be listening for, they were struggling to find each concept because I had printed it all the same color. So that's why I actually end up doing it on different colored paper, and my kids called them the rainbow cards because they're on different colors. But now I've got them like this, as you can see there. So these are not very expensive at all. They take a bit to put together, but I tell you what, everything you need is actually on there. All the questions, all the bits and pieces to help you is actually on there for all the concepts of music, including things like unity, similarity, variety, differences, etc. So that's not a very expensive product, but it's a very helpful one. As I said, I've got blog posts. If you go to juliagia.com, you'll see things like these simple strategies to help you write about 6 concepts of music, and there's more information there. YouTube videos, again, if you want to look, you can just search my name, as you can see, and there's stacks of videos. This was just a quick screenshot I took of them, but how to classify instruments. Some of these things you may not want to use, which is fine. How to write about instrument classification, how to write about rhythm, describing rhythm, etc., etc. There's stacks of them in there. Or master. Now, anything that's got the master the concepts of music was to go with, which I think is on the next slide. This. Okay, so this is this was a challenge I did a while ago, which is the free resources master the concepts of music, which you can see here. Now there's free stuff in there, which is simply the concepts of music mind maps plus a few other free posters, but there's got links in it to all the blog posts, so you can enroll in that for free. Won't cost you a thing. It will help you. But obviously, if you want a bit more help, there's obviously the Writing About Music course, but again, that is a massive course. You'll find that you won't have enough time to get through it unless you really want to work hard, and you've got other subjects to do. But the 6 concepts of music revision course is probably more suitable for this purpose. It's only got a few videos. It goes through everything you need to do in a very short, quick manner. As I said, it has lots of great resources. So go and have a look at juliagia.teachable.com. That particular course I've designed, particularly for my own students, because they need it, some revision, and they're actually getting that information tomorrow because I haven't seen them. I don't teach them Monday, Tuesday of this week. Okay, so don't forget, there's plenty of resources out there, okay? I've given you stacks of free ones, stacks of paid ones as well, depending on what you want to do. But don't forget, you can go get stacks of things over in my Teachers Pay Teacher store. If you look in the concepts of music, there's heaps there. You could always get your free elements of music mind maps if you want to, but if you want the concepts of music ones, go to the Teachable spot and you'll find those. And as I said, plenty of information. I know it says elements of music, but there's concepts of music resources there as well for you. Okay, there is a lot of crossover between elements and concepts, so things are certainly relevant, but you might want to have a look at both things. It won't hurt either way. Okay, and let me stop share. Alrighty, so until next time, I'm Julia from Gia Teaching Resources, and if you are watching this in real time and are doing your HSC performance exams at the moment, I hope it goes well, break a leg, as they say. If not, if you're watching this and getting ready for your exams, again, I wish you well in your oral exams. And as I said, until next time, I'm Julia from Gia Teaching Resources. Bye.